I can hear you very loud and clear. Yeah. So sorry about the delay. Yeah. So I also had a bit of trouble plugging in, but it's working now. That's fine. Okay. So are you ready to start?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
I
All
shut
right.
down
Very
my
good.
computer. Up. Wow.
Excellent. All right. Nice. Yep. Walking around. That's pretty good. Yeah. So Dan. Yeah. Thank you very much for today. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us who you are, your background, a little bit, where you're located, and what you do.
Yeah. I'm from Belgium, of course. Who doesn't know? I live in the east side of Belgium. It's a very famous places in Belgium because it's only a few minutes far from the Spa-Francorchamps Formula One racetrack.
Wow.
So I traveled a lot in my life, and I have been a few times in some places. They didn't knew Belgium, but they knew the Spa-Francorchamps Formula One racetrack, and it's only a few minutes far from here. My job is I have two guest houses. One who is very close from the Spa-Francorchamps racetrack, and I rent it for tourists. But this one I rent also for teams who are coming for the track, for races, for practicing, and so. Uh, I come from telecom, so I had telco shops. I had a
Mm.
company, and I have sold my company. And after I did this job, so I get something to do and not staying the whole day in the sofa or
Wow.
playing video. I have two sons, Malo, who is 25, who lives
Mm.
in Liège. It's about 30 minutes far from here, and Noé, who is 21, with my opinion, the most talented Scheen who is playing Subbuteo, but he almost never plays, so he has other things to do. And then, but I think if you compare Pascal, Sébastien, Daniel, Melina, Romain, Malo, everybody, Noé could be the best, but talent is something, working is something else, and he has other stuff to do. He's totally passionate by the cars, and he wants to make his job about that and karting, and he works at the karting because in the middle of the big track of the Formula
Mm.
One track, there is a
Mm.
small one
Mm.
for karting. He works there as a student. What else? Yeah, I play for Storbert. I play since I'm 13 years old.
Wow.
Subbuteo, football de table. I stopped from but when I was 18 years old, I started to work. I stopped. I was only playing in my club. When I was 20, I was my self-employee, so I had to stop totally. 20 years. I
Wow.
stopped 20 years from 1990 till 2010.
Are you
I
stopped
retired
completely?
totally,
Oh wow.
totally.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we restarted with Eric Treis, who was playing with me in the same club when we were teenagers. And after a few weeks, months, we decided, allez, we work to come back to a good level, and that's why we came back, and we have a lot of fun about it.
That's it. So
Eric
what?
comes Eric
What?
comes every night for practicing.
That's good. What got you interested in coming back? Because you left, and that was still the old style, maybe Subbuteo, right? And when you came back, it's kind of modernized, completely different. What got
Yeah.
you back into it?
I have my two nephews who are playing, Pascal and Sebastien. And
Mm.
so when we met up at family meeting also, and I remember we met the 1st of January. So I have the sun in my face. Okay. And when we met
Yeah.
up in I think it was the 1st of January 2010. And Pascal told me, you would see now the material, there is a big evolution in the material, and now they make a wonderful team with decals. And so, because in the past we were painting with a very small brush, it was not good. You can't get the same result. Even if there is some guys who are very talented about it. And I say, allez, order me a team. I even didn't knew what it was, and he has ordered me the figures on one side, the stickers on one side, and the bases from another side. And the time was going, and after a few months, he called me and he said, I got your team. But I will come to catch the team. Then after a few weeks again, and one day I thought, my team, I will go to catch my team. I called my team and I came back home, and I remember it that I bought for my kids for Christmas a Subbuteo box. It was 2006 Subbuteo, 2006 I think. Yeah. For the World Cup in Germany. They made a special edition of the UFO. And I forgot to give it. It was still in the basement, hide it, because at this time I didn't knew that Santa Claus was not existing. And I remember that I get this box. I say, hey, I have a pitch and goals, and I've put here on the table in the living room, trying to play with my new figures. And then Pascal said to me, you should come to the club one night. And then I went back to the club, and the virus was again, there's no vaccine for that. You can get injected. And of course, when I came, when I compare the new material with my Subbuteo box I had in the 80s, it has nothing to compare. It's something else. And I'm quite, I find it funny when I see the guy who are playing old Subbuteo. I respect it, totally. But if I play tennis, I will not go to play with a wooden racket like Björn Borg.
Right.
If I have to go for jogging, I will buy shoes from now, not on barefoot or like in the past. You have to work with your time, with the. But wait, I show you. Sure. I still have my box. From the 80s.
Wow. Memory lane. Oh, look at that.
Box. Yeah, I still have it.
Still have it. That's great. Bit of memorabilia there. Yeah. So you've won a lot of tournaments, and you're quite famous in Europe. You're famous on the internet, not just because of your playing success, but you also developed some very state-of-the-art bases. Can you tell us how you decided, how you got into that?
First, I am an entertainer. I have always been my own boss since I'm 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And when I restarted, I got my first team. It was in Argentina. It was, I think, Astrobase bases, and they were very good. And I will never criticize a concurrent. I always say the best base is the one who fits to your game, no matter if it's my brand or if it's not my brand. And I tried this one. And then after I have tried a little bit other brands, and so and at this time now there is a bit more guys who are making some bases, but at this time I thought, but this one is pushed a bit too much. This one, the control are too, and this one it was a bit too much this, and the other one was not enough that, and I decided to create my base as I want for me and for my son. And I didn't knew anything about it's a plastic injection. My process is plastic injection. I didn't knew anything, but I made the first draft, and I decided to make something a bit different because my bases is the only monoblock base, but that you can add some weight. The other, or they are monoblock, or they are in two parts with the base and copredici, like they say in Italian,
Yeah.
the
The
little
cover.
and it worked good, and my bases worked good, and I think that they have improved my game.
Mm.
After it was very funny to develop for different kind of games. Uh, for example, my nephew Pascal, who is also a very good player, he plays with the snakes. I
Ah.
use the arrows. Sebastian is using the arrows too as well.
Mm.
Noe is using the snipers. Noe always come back to snipers, and it's
Mm.
very fun to do. And I think because when you want to travel everywhere in Europe, in 2 weeks we will be in Paris. After we go
Mm.
to Vienna, Malta, Bologna, Milan,
Mm.
Palma. But we have no sponsor, so I am
Mm.
my own sponsor. And I
Mm.
did my little bit at this time. I was still married, and then I made my little business. So I could say I never take money from the house
Mm.
to play my passion. I do it, and I did it for that. And I don't do this really to get money because I made my money in another way.
Mm.
I do it when I see the time I spend, and it pays my season, it pays my flights, and so. And I do it for by passion because look, I'm speaking with a guy who is in Japan. What else? I have different interviews from for guys in Ireland, a bit
Wow.
everywhere, and it's wonderful. I can land everywhere. I have been invited by guys in Zakynthos. They say if you come, we drive you everywhere you want. I've been invited in Australia, in USA, a bit everywhere. So it.
Wow.
We went to play in Malta. We have a teammate who is from Malta. He came to catch us at the airport. We go in a real restaurant with real Maltese, not in the tourist traps, you know.
Mm.
It's wonderful. In Austria, I've played 3 years for Wiener Neustadt and
Mm.
a bit for Kaisermühlen, so I can land in Austria. I have my friends Christian Haas, Günther Bamberski, Manfred Pavlika. It's all guys contact all around the world. It's wonderful.
That's great. That's amazing. That's good. Now you've got quite a few bases. You mentioned the snakes. When did you develop the snake bases, and why did you decide on that particular style of base first?
The idea, I noticed it that when I came back to the Subbuteo,
Mm.
something was had totally disappeared. It was curling around, and I
Mm.
thought a bit stupid because it's quite a good weapon when you can get this in your range of flicks.
Mm.
But the bases they were not really made to do it because if you watch a Subbuteo bases from the 80s, the area in contact with the pitch is less than 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter.
Mm.
When
Mm.
you see, for example, my first bases that I restarted with, they are 18 millimeters. So it's physical. You can't curl with the coin, for example. So I thought, oh, I made my first snipers and I stayed in the classic. So it's 18 millimeter in contact with the pitch. But I thought maybe it should be good to try to make something more with less contact with the pitch, and
Mm.
it's physical. So I made a draft and so making some prototypes, trying, and it was working good. And some player, it's not the one I use,
Mm.
but Pascal is very happy. Faisal Ruiz is Jean-Marie Auberny, who is one of the best French player. They use the snake. They are very happy, but it's not my favorite one.
Mm. Mm.
But as I say, it's the one who is fitting to the game of the guys. And also, I have noticed it with a bit experience because now Tchaa 4 is existing since 10 years, about 10 years. It's wait, up my battery. Wait, I will go to catch a battery.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No problem. No problem.
The point is that most of the time there is people, they want some bases. Oh, I want that, and they try to play with bases who are not really made for them. You understand what I thought? Wait, voilà, I put my battery.
Yeah.
If you give me the car of Lewis Hamilton, I will not drive like him. Maybe I will. So you have to start with the base. After you can change following the evolution of your game. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I see most of the players they want heavy bases. Okay, I sell a lot of heavy bases, but all the first year I have restarted, I was playing with light. Why? Because of course heavy bases are shooting better. The ball goes faster. But it's more. You have to get more skills for the controls. So okay, you shoot good, but if you never shoot, I think the most important is first to try to get a shoot and to play the new modern game with very sharp and small flicks in a small area, and so. And after, when you are able to make it with light, try to do the same with heavy bases, who is much more difficult to do with heavy as. And when you see sometimes players, they make practicing, they shoot all the time, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said I don't know who I said, but I said it to a friend. I said, yeah, you make your shoot on the pitch, but in the real game, you almost never have this kind of shoot. There is a figure behind or in front, or you are a little bit, and that's the most important. When you make a free shoot all the time, here is the best player of the family.
All right.
C'est au Japon, oui.
Oh, great.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Oh, that's goodbye. So
yeah, he goes by a friend.
he's going. Okay.
Demain, t'es ici à 10h alors. Ok, ça va. Allez, à demain, poulet. And yeah, so I think it's not also that expensive. You can get a good team between 45, 50 euro. If you play tennis, you need a racket. If you play football, you need shoes, you need a jersey.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not the price can't be really. But I can imagine that for young guys and so. But your team has to be an evolution. When Noé started, he had very, 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 very light bases. And after I have had weight. Yeah.
I see. I haven't tried the snakes yet because I went directly to your Arrows heavyweights that are excellent bases actually. When I was a beginner, but I found that your Arrow 2 heavyweights are actually very good balanced bases in all aspects of the game because I was not a good player, but I was able to get up to speed very, very quickly with your bases. There is a player, though, there's a young player here that uses exclusively your snake bases. And in fact, he won the Winter Open using your snake bases. So that's why I wanted to ask you on that.
That's why I call them snake, because they curl like a snake.
Yeah, that's right. They're very good.
Yeah. But personally, my favorite, the one I use is Arrows 2.0. That's my really the one. I made the Arrows 2.1, and I have explained to you how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Arrows 2.0 was so big success. I thought last year, oh, I will produce again Arrows 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
We have used the same mold, the same factory, the same. I have asked for the same material, and when I came back from the factory, I have made my first test. I feel a little difference. There is a.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, oh, I can't call them 2.0 because there is a very tiny difference. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to get some kind of skills to feel it. But there is even a difference when they talk. You know the sound
Yeah,
or
the
they
sound.
sound. It's very very tiny difference. Maybe something has changed. Maybe the machine was injecting with more pressure or less pressure, or maybe there is a little characteristic who has changed in the plastic. I can't explain. I'm not engineers. I made the draft, and but we have used exactly the same mold, and we don't have exactly the same result. But it's very difficult to produce
Mm.
because the difference is it's so tiny, and I have some players who like they prefer the 2.1. But I'm still use of my 2.0. That's why
Mm.
maybe I would
Mm.
play 2 months only with the 2.1. I would be used of them. But
Mm.
here,
Mm.
when we play here, if you watch tonight, we
Yeah.
practice twice. Is a big fight. Even if they are friendly game, it's a
Yeah.
very big fight.
Yeah, you're very competitive. You can see that. And one of the things that me and my teammates do, because when we watch your games, is the fact that you're able to maintain the same amount of high level concentration throughout the game. I mean, you don't seem to
No,
lose
no,
concentration at all.
no, totally not, totally
No?
not. Yesterday we played like shit with Sebastien, my nephew. We played both like shit. We made 3 games after game over. We were both bad. And sometimes there is some evening where we play good. The problem is if you want to have good game, we have to be good both. If
Mm.
one is
Mm.
not in a good day and the other one is good, it's not good. Reverse
Mm.
as well. If we are both bad, it's not good as well. But if we are both good, sometimes, yeah, sometimes there is good stuff. But we totally don't play with the same concentration as we have when we are in competition. Totally
No,
not.
yeah. That's, yeah. No,
And
naturally.
sometimes we play a bit crazy, kick and rush, and we try stuff. So when you play an official game against a guy who keeps the ball, and when you know that if you lose the ball, you will have to run 5 minutes to get the ball back.
Mm.
You be careful when you have the ball to don't make stupid stuff and losing the ball after 30 seconds. You keep your head on your shoulder and you play. Here, when we are home, sometimes we try stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sometimes it's beautiful to watch, but we are not really in competition mood. We play for fun, and sometimes, for example, one day I think, oh, okay, today I will try to improve my midfield
Mm.
and I will practice and chasing the ball in the middle of the pitch.
Mm.
Another day, I think, oh, I will try to play with my defense very low. Another day, I will try to play with fast, and it's what you want to improve, and you try to do it. You try to do it in real games. After you have to do it in competition, who is again something else because in the competition you have the stress, and when you are going, wait, I will put the light on.
Sure.
When you are going to I don't know, when I restarted, I remember I went to I was only playing since one years, I think. I went to play in Vienna. I haven't been through my group.
Mm.
So you pay a flight ticket, an hotel, and so you play 2 games or 3 games, game over. The next time you try to stay longer in the tournament.
Yeah, no, I understand. So, how do you prepare for your tournaments? What do you think is the most important aspect to prepare? Let's say for someone just getting into this sport, this hobby that wants to play in tournaments, what advice would you give that person to prepare?
I would say, in the end, it's always your skills who will come to save your butt. Okay, Belgian expression. But it's always your skills. So always. Personally, when I prepare a tournament, the most important for me is to practice few days or weeks on the pitch. I will play.
Ah,
The next tournament is in Paris in 2 weeks. It's Astro pitch. I have put my Astro pitch. The next one will be on extreme pitch. Up as soon I'm back from Paris, I remove my extreme pitch, my Astro pitch. I put an extreme pitch. And if I go to play in Subbuteo land, it's an Astro base, Astro turf, and I always practice on the pitch who will be played
do you play?
the next tournament. For someone who starts to play, but first he has to think really. Uh, Table soccer is so. Today you start to play tennis. For sure, you will not play Wimbledon and playing against Rafael Nadal. In Subbuteo, it's possible.
Mm.
You take a flight ticket, you register you in Paris, and you will meet the best player in the world. They will be there. And so take a big bag to put all the gold that you will get during your weekend. And but it can be interesting because you can watch. You will not play long. You will not go through your group. It's sure. But there is also a lot to learn when you are refereeing. There is also a lot to learn watching other games. Or in the situation, oh, he does like this. I never thought about it. Or you can do that. And sometimes, but at the end, it's always the guy who are able to make a very long flick without moving the ball, or making a shoot this high of the as the goalkeeper and going. It's always the skills who will help. But to prepare, there is only one thing to do: technique, 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 all the time, alone. But it's boring. If you do it, I prefer to say to someone, okay, the best is to have your pitch. I show you. Here you have
Sure.
my pitch. It's all the time there. Sometimes, but my pasticcio is in the oven for again 12 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Tick, 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 tick. I play a little bit. After, oh, I want to see that movie. That movie start at 9. It's 8:45. I will do again 10 minutes. But don't do 1 hour, 2 hours technical flip. You will drive crazy. You will be disgusted. It's better to make 2 or 3 times 10 minutes than 1 hour alone on the table. But it's important to be alone on the table. And why Noe was so good? I remember when he was a little kid, he had to go at school for 8:30, and he was always awake before me. He was taking a shower, and the time I was in the shower, he was on the table, tick, 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 tick. The time I was dressed up and my shower and dressed up and so. And every day he was making 10, 15, 20 minutes alone on the pitch for technique. That's why
True.
it was good. It is better to do like that than to think, oh, allez, I will do 2 hours
Mm,
technique
mm,
alone on the pitch. You drive crazy. It's freaking
mm.
boring. Don't do it.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. Now, Dan, as everybody knows, you've played in a lot of tournaments and you're a very successful player. This might be a difficult question, but what is your best memory, if you can remember, of a tournament you've played in? Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
If you make the interview of Günther Bambowski from Austria, Manfred Paulica, and Christian Haas, they will all say like me.
Mm.
I will explain to you.
Mm-hmm.
We played with Wiener Neustadt the GP of Italy in Milan in 2016.
Mm.
We were in the group with Sanremo, Napoli Fighters, with a very good team with and I don't know, fourth team, I don't remember. We lost again Napoli Fighter in the group, but we were qualified second in the group.
Mm.
So we go through, we play against Milan. After 30 minutes against Milan, it was 1-1.
Mm.
Perfect equality, sudden death.
Wow.
Manfred Pavlika scores. We go through. Quarter final, we play against Ascoli. After 30 minutes, it's 2-2. Perfect equality in the goals, sudden
Wow.
death.
Wow. Another
Christian
one.
scores.
Wow.
We go in semi-final. We play against Valletta. I played against Nastasi. After
Oh.
20 minutes, it's perfect equality. It's 1-1, I think, something like that. Perfect equality in the goals. Sudden death, I score.
Wow.
Sudden death. We go in the final against Bologna. It's 2-2, perfect equality. And
Again. Wow.
18 seconds at the end, Günther Bambowski scored and we win the tournament. It
Wow.
happens once in your life.
That's
Once
one
in
of
your life.
that's one of the toughest tournaments I've heard about. Yeah.
You can ask to Gunther, Christian, or Manfred. They will all say it's incredible, incredible.
All sudden
And
death games.
if you watch Milan,
Mm.
the tournament of the Christmas tournament is always few days before Christmas. It's always in December. This tournament is existing since something like 40 years.
Mm.
Only 2 times a foreigner team has won this tournament, and twice it was Wiener Neustadt, it was us.
Wow. So
The
you
time it was the Italian team. It's one of
yeah.
my best tournaments, but there is a lot of tournament. I won the major in Athens. It was a good because I was the only Belgian there with Sebastien, but Sebastien had a team, so I went with the team of Salernitana to the restaurant.
Oh wow.
Subbuteo is only playing. It's also the fun that we have.
Mm.
We go to
Mm.
the restaurant. I can tell you a lot of example, but if there is one, I have to. If someone would say to me, "Okay, you can have again this kind of moment," I would say Milan.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's certainly a unique experience. Sudden death in every single game.
Yeah, so
That's
not in
amazing.
every games. Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's very good. And there's another thing I wanted to ask you because, of course, you're a long-term player at a very high level. You know, with every sport, with every game, there are good things and not so good things. Can you think and tell us about some of the good things you like about the modern version of Subbuteo? Of course, it's not really Subbuteo anymore. And also the opposite. Can you tell us some things that you kind of don't like that you'd maybe hope to see would change?
Complicated. But what I like it's first about the evolution of the material because
Mm.
now the figures they have much more stability. The pitch are sliding much better because when I was playing in the 80s, when you were playing on a cotton pitch, with
mm,
Subbuteo figures. It has nothing to do now compared to the material, the evolution of the material. Something good and not good is the rules. The rules for me are
mm,
good,
mm,
but a bit too complicated for someone who doesn't know.
mm,
Uh, they work all the time about the to put a new rules, to remove that rule, to make this. I think there is not a lot of things to change, only small details. But for example, now you have some players, they systematically make a free kick when you cross the line of the shooting area.
mm.
Systematically, you can't go in, they do a free kick. Why? Because you have a free kick. If you place your figures not that good, they can also put a figure. And then instead of having a free shoot, you have a shoot with a figure in front of your shoot.
Mm,
I thought it's just a suggestion. If someone of FISTF hear me, it would be easy to put instead of 4 centimeters, you put the double,
mm,
like on the corner. It's easy to ref and should be something nice. And it's for everybody. Uh, yeah, the good things. Yeah, I think it's much more. There is much more show when you see now compared to the Subbuteo, old Subbuteo.
mm.
It's much better now. The game it's much better. We do things who were almost impossible with the old Subbuteo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good answer.
And a little changing little details. For example, when you shoot on the post, when the ball comes back in your side, is the throwing for your opponent. So you have shoot on the post and you are punished by a throwing in your side. So I
Mm,
think when the ball goes on the side, you shoot, the ball goes on the post, the ball goes on the side of the striker, ball is for the striker, ball goes out in the other area, so in the other part of the pitch, the ball is for the defender. I think
mm,
it's
mm,
really intelligent to change, but it's only small details. I think the rules are not bad, just a bit complicated for someone
mm,
who doesn't know. Even us, sometimes we are playing and we have a situation and we say, wow, what should we do? We had a game yesterday, something with Seb, and he said to me, I think there I should make a flick. I say, if I would be referee, I would not giving a flick. I don't know.
mm, mm,
When you are in friendly game, it's not really important.
mm, mm,
For us, yes, sometimes it's important because we fight, but that's the only details I would change. A few details, but the rules are good, making a bit more simple. They work on it. I have seen that they made a simple rule for the one who are beginning. Because the book is 64 pages. If
yeah,
you want.
that's right. Yeah, rule book. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and in some languages, it's written a little bit better than others. I think maybe in
Yeah.
French. I think in French, it's actually better to understand than in English. The rule book. I was told.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
my English level is not good enough to make the translation of the book. Uh, I, it's only details, but it's true that sometimes the situation is complicated. But most of the time, when I'm referring, I do as I feel, and I take my first view of the situation,
Mm,
was logical or not, and most of the time it's okay. I had to ref the Open final in Milan. Uh, it was allez.
mm,
Enfin, I made a ref. I think they were happy of my refereeing, so it's good enough.
That's very good, very good. Now, in this digital age, Dan, all the young people are going into more or less, the console computer games.
Yeah.
How do you see the future of this game, and what are some suggestions to get young people into it?
That's more a society question than something else. Because if you play with a PlayStation or I don't know whatever, after 5 minutes, you think that you are Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, because. But I said to my son, because he was also playing FIFA, and so I say, hey, it's not you, it's the chip inside the machine who does it for you. It's not you. Yeah, look, I can do this and this.
Yeah.
I say, no, it's the processor who's making the work for you. You don't do anything. The problem with the Subbuteo, it takes 3, 4, 5 years before you can do something correct and not be killed. And most of the time they stop before. And maybe a solution would be to have more tournament like Challenger or Satellites or even WASPA, because when you get a kid who comes to play, he comes to a tournament, bing, 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 bing. He get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goal, and he doesn't score one, and there's no it, and it's right. When you organizing stuff with guys with the same level, they do it very good in Italy. One who is making a wonderful job is Saverio Barri in Subbuteo land. If you go, it's la Mecca of the Subbuteo. Go there. Hello, Saverio, if you watch the interview. No, Ciao bello, because he doesn't speak English, Saverio. But there is La Mecca of the Subbuteo, and he makes a work. And when the army who is coming from Subbuteo land will come on the tour, it will be very good players. One who is making also very good job for the youth is Antonio Montano from Spain. I have played 2 years with Tiburon in Spain. And Antonio has a school, he's teacher, he's director in the school, and he has 4 tables in the school. And when the guys, the student, the student, when they get good points, they can participate to the championship. If they don't get good points, they can't play and they lose the game by walkover. So it pushes them to study. And already by Antonio Cassin, David Gonzalez, they are from this school. And I have discussed in Milan with Antonio. Antonio said to me, I have now the next generation is following. And they were in Milan playing with a young guy. I didn't knew him. And it was already quite good. And one moment, the point is that with Subbuteo, it's always by levels like this. You grow, and one moment you go down. But the most important is not going lower than from where you came. You go up, you go a bit lower, but up after you go up again, but higher than from where you come, and that. And also for everything, you have practicing, working, your mind, your nerve, and the talent. But the talent, you can give a tennis racket to a kid, to 10 kids, and you make them playing every day the same hours. You will always get some who are better than others because they have the blood. It's
Natural talent.
Driving the car is the same for football. It's the same for darts. It's the same for everything. There is a kind of talent, and the rest is the work. only the talent is not enough, and only working. But when you work, for example, my nephew Pascal is not really talented, but he was so focused and working and working and
Mm.
working that he has a very, very good level.
Yeah, never give up kind of thing. Yeah, just
Yeah,
be
yeah.
persistent, keep going. That's very good. Yeah. Now you use arrows to heavyweights exclusively in tournaments. You say
Yeah.
for because there's always new players that are going to be watching. They're going to be thinking, what bases should I use? Whatever. Can you tell us a little bit more about the arrows to why you like them so much, and some of the differences maybe you think that your arrow two
I
bases
think,
have over the others?
I think when I think for the newcomers, for the guy who are playing, who are starting in the game,
Mm.
the best is to start with the snipers 2.0 lightweight or the snipers 1. Right? The snipers, because they will not try to curl, they will, and after when they can add weight or they can change the model. My opinion is not too expensive as well. It's for the beginners. It's really a base that my advice is to start with that.
Snipers two or
Snipers
snipers one?
lightweight. In lightweight, yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Snipers one,
Lightweight. Light,
lightweight.
light. Yeah, yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. And finally, Dan, are you working on anything special? Are you preparing for something, or what are you up to these days?
No, here you have my.
Oh, wow. Look at that trophy room.
Here is my
Wow.
collection.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay. Look at that. Yeah. That's
With,
all your figures and trophies, stickers.
yeah, it's the logo. Yeah, yeah. Here's where I work to make your teams. With my tools.
Oh, good, 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 good. Yeah, I just ordered
I
two more
am gonna
teams from
rock
me.
you. You know this guy.
Yeah, I think I know him. Yeah.
I am just think I will go tomorrow.
Very good.
Yeah, here you have also stops. Here it went
Excellent.
champion of Belgium this year.
Wow.
So no, I'm thinking about maybe a project, but it's always developing a project. It costs a lot of money. That's the problem. When you
Yeah, no,
want
that's
to
true.
create a new product, it costs a lot of money.
That is true. That's true. Yeah.
That's okay.
That is good. Very good. Thank you very much for your time, Dan. It's been a
You're
pleasure
welcome.
speaking to you. Excellent.
Hello to all the Japanese friends, Kenzo, that I met in Gibraltar, and all the other guys. And I promise I will try to come with Stefan Robert one day to play in Japan.
Excellent. We look forward to that. Thank you very much, Dan. Excellent. Thank you so much. And I look forward to trying those 2.1s. I really do look forward to seeing those and trying those out. Yeah.
They're in the envelope. I'm ready.
Excellent. Thanks
Bye
so
bye.
much, Dan. Thank you. Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Talk to you again
Thank you. Bye
soon.
bye.
Thank you.